help is on the way. That's a daily promise made by the Pennsylvania SPCA.
But as the weather heats up, it becomes harder and harder to deliver on that promise as humane law enforcement officers are inundated with animal cruelty calls. Eyewitness News reporter Jan Carabeo joins us now with a look at their uphill battle and a way that you can help out. Morning,
They
Jan.
do incredible work, you guys, but this is a real concern. Believe it or not, there are only 10 animal cops at the PSPCA. The problem is the organization gets zero funding from the state despite enforcing state animal cruelty laws. Still, these officers give it their all 24 hours a day, every day of the year.
Just nothing too crazy today.
It's how Jason Martinez starts just about every day. A clipboard full of addresses and neighborhood tips.
They're saying there's 6 to 7 large terrier type dogs in a yard full of feces and trash.
Martinez is a Pennsylvania SPCA humane law enforcement officer. His beat, animal cruelty.
It's been a crazy 10 years. I've thought I've seen it all, but it just keeps getting worse and worse. And you think you've got them all, but they just keep popping up.
On this day, his list takes him around the city of Philadelphia.
When we're going to a house in Port Richmond for a call that came in just for dogs out.
Fortunately, after a quick check here, it appears that dog is in good health. But the outcome is often very different.
Dogs that were skinned for no reason, cats that were skinned for no reason. People do some heinous stuff. 2 dogs hanging in the basement, they've been shot. Straight up talk to the owner. Oh, I went on vacation, I had nobody to watch them, so, I shot them in the head.
It's hard to believe these stories that you're telling are true. They're unbelievable.
Yeah, it is crazy with the things I've seen.
In just the first 2 hours on the street with Martinez, he checks dogs in North Philly, Port Richmond, and Frankfort. And on an average day, Martinez will get to about a dozen other calls too. It is an immense task, especially considering the PSPCA covers 23 counties with only 10 officers, and the busy summer season is coming.
Dogs outside without any shelter, that when it's so hot, that's considered an emergency.
Not only life-saving, but costly and time-consuming work. Martinez wishes there was funding for more officers so he could spend more time on another big problem, dogfighting rings, like this one officers busted in Grays Ferry back in March.
These dogfighters are getting away with it because, all our attention is on to the calls that are just coming in nonstop.
It used to be more. We've had to cut back due to resources. We're privately funded. We get no state funding.
Officers pursue more than 6,500 animal cruelty cases a year, and Martinez is often just the first stop on what can be a long road to recovery for these animals. Bella was surrendered by her owner and brought to the PSPCA's shelter hospital.
She looks like she has a skin condition.
While Bella's stay will be brief, King has been in recovery here for a month. His was a severe case of starvation. A grim outlook, but ultimately yet another success story.
We know we're making a difference here, then it keeps us going.
Now, 2 officers have been cut over the last 2 years. It may not sound like much, but that equals 2,400 fewer cruelty investigations each year. And the PSPCA says more cuts will be needed if additional funding isn't found. Of course, you can donate and report animal cruelty online at pspca.org.
So 10 officers for 23 counties?
Isn't that incredible?
That's criminal. People need to call Harrisburg, get on the phone today and call your representative and say enough is enough.
Right.
This is unacceptable.
The PSPCA has tried to get state funding before. It just hasn't worked out.
You have to think about the emotional toll that takes on all of the people who have to work those cases. That's just incredible. Thank you, Jan.
Appreciate it.